Imagine thinking a mistake you made years ago was finally forgiven, only to find out your spouse was quietly waiting for the perfect moment to stab you in the back. That's exactly what happened to me. And when she finally made her move, I gave her an ending she never saw coming. For 12 years, I thought I'd built something solid with my wife, Emily. We'd been together since our early 20s, married for 9 with 2 kids, 8-year-old Mia and 4-year-old Noah. But after Noah's birth, things got rough. Emily slipped into a fog of exhaustion and postpartum withdrawal. Intimacy disappeared completely. For over a year, I felt invisible, a ghost in my own marriage. Then temptation appeared, a mutual friend, Laura, about to move overseas. One reckless night turned into 6 secret meetups. I told myself it was just a release valve. I never intended to leave Emily. When Laura moved to Germany, I thought the affair was buried forever. But guilt has a way of clawing its way out. A year later, Laura confessed everything to her husband and to Emily. I remember the look on Emily's face, not screaming, not crying, just a cold stillness that scared me more than anything. I begged, I promised therapy, groveling, anything. I knew I destroyed her trust. Emily nearly filed for divorce. The only reason she stayed, she later admitted, was the thought of raising 2 little ones alone. But she added a chilling condition. If I'm going to stay, you agree I get one affair on my terms whenever I choose. Desperate to keep my family together, I agreed. I thought it was symbolic, a way to level the field. Years passed. We rebuilt routines, family breakfasts, bedtime stories, a new house near her parents. We even found our way back to regular intimacy. I dared to believe we'd healed. 4 months ago, Emily sat me down at our kitchen table. Her hands were steady on the mug, her voice almost casual. "I've been seeing someone," she said. My stomach dropped. "Who?" "Mark." Mark, one of my closest friends, recently divorced. My pulse roared in my ears. Emily didn't even look guilty. She reminded me, "You agreed I could have one." But I couldn't shake the sense she'd been waiting for the perfect target, someone close enough to twist the knife. She coolly explained it was already over. Same number of encounters, same time span as my long-ago affair. She made it symmetrical, as if betrayal could be solved with arithmetic. I tried to swallow the hurt, but every glance at Emily felt like a bruise. I stopped talking to Mark entirely. He never reached out either, a silent confirmation of guilt. At night, I lay awake replaying everything. The years I'd spent proving myself, the house we bought, the laughter with our kids. Had any of it been real to her? One evening, as we cleared dinner plates, I finally asked, "Did you ever forgive me?" Emily didn't hesitate. "I forgave you the second I had my affair." The words landed like glass shattering inside my chest. That's when I realized she hadn't forgiven, she'd been keeping score. I spent a week in quiet resolve. No yelling, no threats, just watching. I noticed how she smirked whenever she mentioned Mark in passing, as if she held the trump card forever. But I'd learned something from years of guilt. Remorse means change. Punishment just chains people together. And Emily wasn't interested in healing, only in control. So I made a decision. I'm done apologizing for a mistake I've already paid for. I deserve peace. My revenge wasn't loud, it was surgical. I gathered documents, consulted a lawyer, and quietly mapped an exit that protected Mia and Noah. I refused to let Emily dictate the narrative. One Friday, while she planned a girls' night, I asked her to sit down. Calmly, I laid out divorce papers and a custody proposal, fair, balanced, giving her generous visitation and child support. Emily's smile faltered. "Wait, you're leaving after everything." "Exactly," I said. "After everything. I can forgive a lot, Emily, but I won't stay married to someone who plotted to hurt me instead of heal with me." She sputtered, "But you cheated first." I nodded, and I owned it. I begged forgiveness. I rebuilt our life. "You chose revenge over forgiveness. That's the difference." For the first time in years, I felt steady. Emily's composure cracked. She called me selfish, accused me of running away, but I didn't raise my voice. "This isn't running," I said quietly. "It's me refusing to be punished forever." When she realized the paperwork was real, panic flickered in her eyes. The power she'd clung to slipped through her fingers. I walked out that night to stay with my brother. leaving Emily alone with the consequences of her carefully calculated betrayal. Sometimes revenge isn't about destroying someone. It's about refusing to let them keep you trapped in their game. The moment I signed those papers, I finally felt free, and that was the sweetest justice. Update. It's been 6 months since I walked out of that house with the divorce papers. The process wasn't easy, no divorce with kids ever is, but keeping calm during negotiations paid off. We settled on a schedule where Mia and Noah spend alternate weeks with each of us, and so far they're thriving. They're still young, but kids pick up on tension. Now that the arguing has stopped, they seem lighter, happier. Emily tried a few guilt trips at first, hinting that I'd ruined the family, but I refused to bite. I focused on the children, on building a stable home for them. Eventually, she stopped fighting and started cooperating. I think she finally understood that our marriage wasn't a punishment she could keep me in forever. As for Mark, I never heard from him again. Losing that friendship hurt, but it also made room for better people. I've reconnected with old friends who respect boundaries, and I'm slowly learning to trust myself again. I'm not rushing into dating. Right now my energy is for my kids and rebuilding my own life. But for the first time in years, I feel at peace with my choices. Walking away wasn't just revenge. It was a clean break from a cycle that would have eaten us alive. Final update. It's been almost a year since I handed Emily those papers, and life feels completely different now, in the best way. The divorce was finalized 8 months ago. Looking back, I'm proud of how calm I stayed through the whole thing. There were days when I wanted to yell or drag every ugly detail into court, but I knew that would only hurt Mia and Noah. Keeping the focus on them helped me keep my balance. Today, the kids are thriving. They split their time evenly between our homes, and we've worked out a rhythm that lets them feel safe in both places. They love decorating their rooms at each house and showing me their school projects on video calls when they're with their mom. Even their teachers say they've become more confident now that they don't feel tension in the air every day. Emily and I communicate only about parenting. There's no friendship left, but we manage civility, and that's good enough. I've stopped trying to get closure from her. Some people never own their part in a mess, and I've made peace with that. As for me, I've put a lot of work into rebuilding my life. Therapy helped me understand why I accepted being punished for so long, and why I let guilt steer my choices. I'm learning to forgive myself without letting anyone use my mistakes as leverage. I've started dating again carefully. No big declarations, no rushing. Just coffee, hikes, honest conversations, getting to know people from a healthy place instead of desperation. It's strange but exciting to be free to imagine a future where trust isn't a currency for control. Financially, I'm in a stronger place too. I focused on my career after the split and earned a promotion I'd been chasing for years. That small victory reminded me that I'm capable of more than surviving drama. I can build something solid for myself and my kids. Do I regret my own affair all those years ago? Absolutely. I've accepted that it cracked the foundation of our marriage. But I also know I spent years trying to repair it, and when I realized forgiveness would never come, leaving was the healthiest choice I could make. If there's one lesson I've learned, it's this: real forgiveness isn't about keeping a scorecard. It's about letting go for yourself, not for the other person. And if someone insists on holding power over you, the bravest thing you can do is step out of the game entirely. A year ago, I thought walking away meant losing everything. Now I see it gave me back my freedom, my self-respect, and a future I actually want to live. And that's a kind of revenge that doesn't burn bridges, it lights the way forward. Thanks for sticking with me through this whole journey. If this story hit home, maybe reminded you how powerful it is to reclaim your peace, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss more stories like this one. I'd love to hear from you, too. Have you ever had to let go of someone who kept punishing you instead of moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insight might help someone else who's still stuck. And remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about building a life so good you don't need to look back.